Rem, you love doing hottest lists. That's what you do.
I do.
Nobody
And
writes a
me,
hottest
we
list
love
like
hearing
you.
your hottest lists.
We love it. Can't get enough of it. Time to unbutton that top button. All right,
Right.
let's
getting
hear
hot
about
in
the
here.
top list here.
Okay, so I'm gonna start from the bottom up.
No, you are ranking X-Men, the hottest X-Men of this show as they are represented in this show.
Yes. So the two people that do not make the list at all are Jubilee and Sunspot because I believe they're minors. So they
Probably does
qualify.
turn 18 in this episode, but I agree. Best
Oh
not.
well, okay. For half the
Yeah.
show or whatever, she's 17 or whatever. So yeah,
whatever.
minors,
Best to leave them off.
Yes.
they're off the list.
Mhm.
Okay, coming at the bottom of the list is Morph. Morph doesn't have a real face. Therein, he cannot be attractive. He just copies other people, so not attractive.
He could be the hottest and least hot.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that too.
He's-
It could be any of it. Yeah.
He's a attractive. If you have asexuals, he's a hot.
A.
Next up, Beast. Kind of obvious, but like not gonna, he's not turning heads in any sort. They
Really?
paint him in a nice way, but in reality, he would be horrifying to look at.
The
Role
most ripped
player,
dude
like,
in the whole X-Men.
on the right team. Like if you need a beast, he's your guy. He's number one, but you're
For
gonna
sure.
need a beast. Like if
Right.
that's your, if you're
He needs a bell. He needs a bell to help iron him out. Next up after that is Charles. Now you're maybe thinking maybe I'm being a little rude to Charles, but he does not have much going for him.
More
His
than
legs don't
Beast.
work, and he's
More
bald,
than-
and he's old.
Wait, he's got more going for him than Beast?
Only barely, because he's just like he has normal skin and he's not like a furry monster.
Okay.
But that's literally all he has going for him.
Okay. I shouldn't
I
question.
do
question
love-
your choices.
I do love that you're not being an ableist right now. I love it.
Yeah, ignore the part where I said where I included him not having legs as part of the reason he was unattractive. Ignore that part.
We all did until you brought it up specifically. We didn't hear that part until you.
I ignore that. Oh my god.
After Charles, Nightcrawler, similar issues to Beast, but he has a more normal body, and the pointy tail might do something for some people. So I feel like that could have extra purposes.
Okay.
Also,
okay.
he will
You heard
leave-
double penetration.
That would need
he
to be
could
unsaid.
bounce from the
Remy,
room
if we got what you were
immediately, though,
saying.
and leave you feeling sad. Like immediately when he's done,
Yes.
boom,
Poof.
he's gone, and you're just like,
Poof.
wow.
Also, if you want a religious,
Wolf.
if you want a religious person, next after Nightcrawler, Eric. Now he is old. He is old, but he's jacked. He has a nice head of white hair, and he is attractive in his impressive leadership skills and his just awesome power.
Yes, Rogue
After-
obviously finds something about him.
Yeah, well, she's got an old man thing going. She didn't have a dad, so
yes.
after Eric, Logan, as he is represented in the show, not Hugh Jackman. This is Logan. This is Logan, the short guy, also furry, probably doesn't smell very good. Just like very middle of the pack right now.
Embodies much more Wolverine than man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's more
Probably
closer to
the
animal.
best at fucking.
For show. Yeah, 100%. If you need one night to remember for the rest of your life, Wolverine's your guy.
Last
You will
night
not
of the
walk
rest of your life.
For a month.
Good Lord.
All right, and now we're through the middle of the mediocre folk, and now we're on to the actual hot people. Okay, so I may have forgot 3 people to put on this list. Forge, Bishop, and Cable. They're not really main characters. Bishop and Cable are like both in half of the show, but only like Bishop's in the first half of the show and Cable's in the second, and then Bishop just kind of disappears for a while. I don't even remember if he comes back. I'm putting Cable slightly under Bishop. Cable seems a little bit dirtier, and he seems a little bit more of an ass than Bishop. Seems like a little bit of a nicer guy, someone you'd more likely want to spend your time around. But their body types and their like head shape, everything is basically the exact same for one, except with the exception of their skin color. But so I have them almost as like like A, B of the same type here. They both have the eye scar thing, which is always, can definitely be somebody's thing. that is something that they do have going for them.
So now the actual hot ones. Next up on the list is Scott. Chiseled, good-looking guy, pretty boy. Not the pretty boy, but just more of your average jock, like more of your Flash Thompson type. But
taking him home to mama.
Yeah, exactly. Like the guy you bring home to mom.
Now, I am upset about the fact that I did forget Forge, because Forge is actually pretty hot. Not only is he just like really good looking, literally the best handyman you could possibly have around, a real guy that you want at home. And not only is he attractive physically, but that bumps him up the list. It's always nice to have the guy around that's going to not just fix anything, but build anything you need. Come to think of it, why doesn't Forge build robotic legs for Charles? I feel like this is a massive plot hole that is never, ever explained. And the last thing that Forge really has going for him, arguably his number one trait, is the fact that he can pull Storm. You could be a mediocre looking person, but if you're dating someone that's way out of your league and super hot, that automatically makes you inherently more attractive. Luckily for Forge, he is not ugly, he is attractive, but he just happens to land the baddest bitch of all time in Storm, so that automatically puts him pretty high on this list.
Jean. Now, as she is represented in this show, a little bit less hot. She is pregnant for her first couple episodes. Me personally, that's not going to improve how hot you are. Pregnant women are obviously very attractive and glowing and beautiful, but not making you hotter. After Jean, now the top three was hard. The top three was not easy. I have Rogue next.
Oh.
Rogue gets nerfed a little bit in this show. The tits aren't as big and the ass isn't as big either. And that does make a significant impact. Also, her voice is a little older, not quite the young, sexy thing that she used to be. Just a couple things that kind of held her back. After Rogue, I have Gambit. Pretty boy, fuck boy. You don't bring him home to mom, but he's gonna tug at you just long enough to where you have a thing with him for a couple years, but it's never official.
That crop top he's sporting in the first episode.
Yeah, those abs popping out. He looked good. And then, coming at number one, which, again, this is my list. You could swap, but coming at number one for me is Storm. The shocking white hair. I love her punk rock look. Her punk rock look that she starts the season with. Fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. She's like so fucking powerful. It makes her hotter. Being able to fly and control the weather. And she's just beautiful. She's a goddess. I love that Forge is constantly calling her a goddess, because not just because of how attractive she is, but also because of her powers. If you were dating her, you basically would be dating a god, and you would just call her that all the time.
Dude, Magneto multiple times is like, you are a goddess amongst
exactly. And she is, dude. She's like a god amongst insects.
Oh yeah, as he says.
And that is my hottest my hottest list.
Very well done. Very well done. I agree mostly with that list. They do keep Storm still keeps like her very well defined tits. Unlike Rogue, I don't understand why Rogue's tits got like one barred. And then
This was actually such an interesting factor of the show, because this is coming off Jim Lee designing these characters, massive muscles, massive tits, massive asses. That was all the 90s were. And I felt like the animated studio that did it before embraced that as much as they could for a kid's television show. And then now that they were able to do whatever they want with this, but then having, someone gay being the deciding factor of a lot of these choices, which way was this going to go? Was this they were going to nerf every girl and make every dude, hot? And then, but I felt like they did find a good middle ground. Like I know we were all upset with Rogue's ass, that it wasn't just living up to what it used to be in the last ones, but it went a little too far that way. It definitely did. So I felt like it did bring this whole thing into like a good medium ground for everyone to enjoy.